Good Saturday morning to our YouTube audience. It's February 17th. Welcome to the Celebrate Business Project, where every Saturday is Small Business Saturday. It's February 17th, and good morning. And good morning to our Facebook Live audience. I'm David, and it's every Saturday is Small Business Saturday in the Celebrate Business Project, and today is February 17th. I would like to share with you a little bit about why we are, what we do, why it is what we do. And in doing so, if you follow me, you know that on January 1st, I committed that for all of 2024, I would live stream a broadcast every Saturday, Small Business Saturday. Today, I am here in my studio in Cincinnati, Ohio. Hopefully, I will be in other markets, other cities on Saturdays, and we will produce our live stream with a co-producer, collaborative partner in that particular market. That's how things are going to operate. I had decided that in May, I was going to put together an event that really symbolizes where I am in my life today, where I've come in the now almost 75 years. And the month of May is proclaimed National Small Business Month by the Small Business Administration. And I'll get into an explanation of that and a conversation that I had with the Small Business Administration in this last week. I had a Google meet and greet with one of the deputy directors, is what they call them, of one of the SBA districts. The third day of May is my 75th birthday, and as I said, it is symbolic of me celebrating business for 75 years as a third generation small business owner. My grandfather owned a couple of businesses. My father owned a couple of small businesses. Actually, I ended up buying one of my father's small businesses in a pretty interesting story that maybe you've heard it already, so I won't go into it now. But it is very, very special to me because I have been very blessed with the entrepreneurial journey that I've been able to take for the last 52 years, 52 plus years. And because I wanted 2024 to be something, well, not because it is something special in my life, but I wanted to launch the Celebrate Business project as a way of my giving back to the wonderful communities, the wonderful folks that I have done business with in the last 52 years. Actually, longer with some of them. I'll get into that in a little while. But it's a very, very special time for me, and so I'm putting all of my experiences of the last, I guess, 6 decades to share the marketing and sales expertise that I have, because it is so very important in today's world. It's more important in today's world, the marketing and sales that a business does, because we have been invaded by artificial intelligence. So when we get information, we don't know necessarily the source. There are going to be some attempts by folks that if you do produce something by artificial intelligence, you noted that you have done it. That's not going to work very well. But now more so than ever, trust in the information that we get. Trust in the folks that you want to do business with. Trust that when you commit to do business with an attorney, that you're going to get the best job possible from that attorney to represent you. It's so very, very more so now than ever. And I want to take those thoughts, take those ideas out into the marketplace. And so I designed a project that goes beyond just the Saturday that we might produce, that we will produce our every Saturday, Small Business Saturday, but spend the rest of that week producing as many 19-minute conversations, live stream, that I can with small businesses, any business, small businesses, and produce as many of those as I possibly can in that particular market, and then tie everything together with a 1 or 2 or 3 postcard mailings to introduce to the community all the great things that are being done by small businesses in that particular market, as told by their owner, the visionary, the small business visionary. So that's kind of how things are going to work. As I started to, it's a massive undertaking. Where do you start? I thought a great place to start would be National Small Business Month. I've never actually celebrated Small Business Month as such. I didn't. The concept really, I just came to me this year. It's something that I was reading. I have always celebrated National Small Business Week, designated by the Small Business Administration, and it's just interesting that all the pieces fit together the way they are fitting together for this my 75th year. So I'm planning a big birthday party celebration, and I don't want to go into too many details about it now, because while they certainly aren't complete, only about 50% complete. But one of the things that that I am really excited to do and I'm gonna start on next week. I'm gonna start finding somebody. Well, I know who I need to find at Sam's Club, so that I can celebrate my birthday in Sam's Club. The reason being, it was National Small Business Week in 2008 when I had just published my book, How Do You Answer These 749 Questions About Your Small Business. And I went into 3 different Sam's Clubs in the Cincinnati market that week and passed my book out. I signed my book. I passed out. The reason I passed out, it's a funny story too. I had sent a copy of the book to Dave in Bentonville. He was the marketing manager, marketing director for Sam's Club at that time. I sent him a copy of the book, and at that time we didn't do video chats. We did a phone conversation, a couple of them, but he told me he would love to sell the book in Sam's Clubs, but couldn't for the following reasons. I don't have an actual copy of the book here, but it was designed to be a workbook, and there was a spiral binding that went down the side. And because of the size of the book, 8.5 by 11, which is not a typical size for a book, plus the fact that it had a spiral binding in it, Dave said that they just couldn't warehouse the book because it would get destroyed in the warehouse, just the way it was manufactured and constructed. I wasn't thinking about that when I actually published the book myself. I wasn't thinking about that. It never occurred to me that might be an issue. And then he said and laughed, furthermore, for us to sell the book in a Sam's Club, there would have to be a specially designed floor display because of the size of the book and because of the way it was manufactured. And of course, he would be looking to me to create that display. And at that point, I really wasn't interested. So I said, you know what? Let me just come in and I'll give the book away. I'll sign it. I will talk to folks about their small business. And I told Dave that I would give a challenge, a marketing and sales challenge, to every single person, every single customer of Sam's Club that I spoke to. And then it would be something that they would leave the store with a new idea, something for their business, hopefully make their business, help their business move forward. And of course, Dave liked that idea. It still holds true. So I'm going to start contacting Sam's Club, and it just so happens I didn't realize this. Walmart, who is the corporate owner of Sam's Club, they actually in the Walmart stores, and I haven't been in a Walmart store in a very long time. They have a section, or there's a concept called Walmart Business, targeted to business owners. Now, quite honestly, I'm not sure how that differs from what might happen in the Sam's Club, but maybe it's an opportunity, or maybe Walmart is pursuing the idea of bringing Walmart and Sam's Club closer together, the merchandising of those two, because they're totally separate programs, totally separate people running the companies. It's amazing. I was doing some research on the Walmart corporation this week, and it's amazing how fine-tuned that organization is, with a lot of senior folks who run the show, so to speak. But that's going to happen next week. I've got some names. I've got two names of folks that, actually three names that I'm going to be pursuing those three folks next week. And I will be happy if I am able to tell you that on my birthday, I'll be in a Sam's Club. I have a particular Sam's Club in mind because of some research that I've done. So we'll see how that plays out. So let me talk a little bit about the Small Business Administration and why I wanted to be aligned. Why I wanted to be partners with the SBA in what we were doing. I'm not sure how old the SBA is. It's probably at least 50 years old. And its purpose is to focus on business, small business in this country. And they do it in several ways. They provide a lot of information. While their website, has 4,000 pages to it. Of course, you don't know that when you go to the website. It's the ability to find that information. But as I told my new SBA friend this week, probably 10 years ago, I did a live stream inside the SBA office in Cincinnati, and it was done on the day that the SBA was announcing to the world that they had this revised 4,000-page website, reorganized, revised, and I was in their offices in Cincinnati that day, and I did a live stream to tell my audience back then what was happening. We had a pretty big audience back then because we were also I was live streaming on a website back then. Actually, did a did a Saturday morning show on that website, and I'm not going to go into details about it, but it was not unusual on that back then that 5,000 folks would show up. I was on a big website. I was the only one on that website with small business information content, and so they wanted to highlight that. It was something. I was the only one doing it, with lots of folks, lots of creators doing a lot of things, and subsequently they put me, when I was live on air, they put me on their front page of the website, and it was a rolling front page, so you saw all the shows that were being broadcast at that moment. And I was one, so we got a huge following back then. But I'm just flashing back on podcasts that we've done over the years. But in working with the SBA, I want to share as much information as I can about them with them when they're comfortable about coming on and doing a live stream with me to talk about the information, to go inside. We'll talk about SCORE. Every community that has an SBA office, they also have a SCORE organization, close line to the SBA, and it is made up of folks who are retired, who are in business, and they are sharing their expertise to folks in a very, very organized manner. It's a system, it's a process, and I highly recommend it to anybody who needs to get some kind of assistance in their own community. For sure, you can always contact me and ask a question, and I'll lead you down the path. But if you can do it in your own community, because most likely it's a local issue as opposed to a universal kind of one. It doesn't matter. SCORE. There's also another organization called Small Business SBD's Development Council Center, Small Business Development Center, and I will offer anytime the folks want to come and share with me, or we'll go to their offices. We will do that in our every Saturday, Small Business Saturday. So I was on the search for somebody that had a yes or no person in the SBA at the as opposed to going to Washington. I chose to do it locally, or close to me geographically. I didn't have to go to Washington to do it. I could do it in a local market, specifically one where I wanted to target with a program, or a program. So I had, it took us a week to get together because of some technology issues on his end, not my end. But we met, we had a video chat, a Google Meet and greet on, I guess it was Thursday. And at the end of that, I sent him, I'm not going to say who it was, to protect his confidentiality of our meeting. I sent this within the hour of our Google Meet and greet. I sent this email back to him. Thank you for 19 minutes of your time. It was greatly appreciated. After about 5 minutes of thought at the conclusion of our conversation, it was evident to me that the SBA would never formally collaborate with me because I'm very freewheeling, and I wouldn't want the SBA to necessarily endorse my style of doing what I do every day. It has worked for me, but I promise you it won't work for most folks because of the way I do it and the discipline, the self-discipline that is needed to do it. So I understood. I understood that with Terry. I didn't mean to say that. The system has worked. My system has worked for me for 52 plus years, and I'm very disciplined and very bottom line focused, is what I said to him. But he did ask me. One of his early questions to me was, "What does your business do?" And I kind of smiled. It's a serious question, and I kind of smiled. And I said, I'm 75 years old. First of all, my business is just me. I do not have an organization. I have never had a business organization except for 1 year in my life. That was in the end of 1978 through 1979 when I published a magazine, started a magazine. I had a staff of 15 folks, but that's the only time in all my years that I've had folks. It's been me, and if I needed something done and I couldn't do it myself, or it wasn't time efficient or cost efficient for me to do it myself, I would hire a contract partner, collaborate with a third party. Interestingly, oh my goodness, there's 3, 4, over the years, there were 4 third-party marketers that I collaborated because they had expertise in an area that I didn't, and it made more sense for them to do the work as opposed to me. So they did it, and in all 4 cases, it was not good work. and I actually wasted money because I could have done myself what I asked them to do for me, and I was very specific what I needed done, and in the four cases it absolutely did not get done. So I misinvested a lot of money back then. But it happens. You learn. You live and you learn, and you move on, and you figure out what the problem was, what the challenge was, what you didn't do that you should have done, and the next time you have an opportunity, you do it. It's pretty simple. Terry asked me, and I said I do what I want to do, and I knew that was not an acceptable answer, but I laughed. He laughed too. He understood what I was saying, and so we went on and we continued. But I told him that you could go to my YouTube channel, you can go to my Facebook page, you can go to my LinkedIn page, and you can see what my company does, what I do, because it's all there. Everything I do is all there. I'm a publisher, I'm a producer, so that's what I do. He needed a little bit more definition, and he wanted more of my background too. So I sent this to him. Born almost 75 years ago, I'm a third generation small business owner. In 1971 to 72, I received a BA in political science and an MA in communications from the University of Cincinnati. So actually, I've been in Cincinnati 5 years of college, the last 37 years. My oldest son, Jordan, was born here 37 years ago, 2 months. And so I've been in Cincinnati for 42 out of my 75 years. The other years, most of the years, I was in my hometown of Canton, Ohio. And the reason that I'm reading some of this is because I know some of the folks who will view, not necessarily live, but they'll view this, they'll see the video on my Facebook page. They knew me 60 years ago. Some people knew me 68 years ago. But I'm bringing them up to date because I'm not kept up in all these years, and that's why I'm reading some of this information. Here's what I've been doing. In 1972 and 73, when I was in my hometown, I co-published. In 1972-73, I co-published the Jewish Times Outlook in Charlotte, North Carolina. A money man, one of the wealthiest philanthropists in North Carolina, needed assistance on a magazine that he had invested in, Mr. ID, and he made it was literally found me and made a decision to partner with me in 48 hours. Actually, it happened in 48 hours. That's a long story. That actually, my father was involved in that particular story. So in 72, 73, I was in North Carolina publishing. And in January, in 1973, my father passed away. My mother inherited 2 small businesses, of which she knew nothing about because she was not involved in either of them. So she was in a fix, if you will. And so I made the decision to move back to Canton and get involved with the Start Jewish News, which my father had actually purchased from the original publisher. My father purchased it in 1967 when I was a senior in high school, and actually attended the 3 meetings that he had to discuss him buying the publication. So that was a learning experience for me back when I was a senior in high school. I guess didn't know it at the time, absolutely didn't know it at the time, but destined to become a publisher. So when my father passed away and I moved back to Canton, my mother was my business partner. And I've told the story a million times, but if you haven't heard it, I went to her and I was only there. I was there for less than 100 days. And I said, Mom, I want to be your son. I do not want to be your business partner. And my grandfather, her father, was standing right there. And he looked at me. We got eye contact. And he said, David, give your mother $10,000 and do whatever you want to do. And I knew it. Well, I was just learning, I guess, what $10,000 was all about. I didn't study the books to find out if it was a good investment for me at $10,000, but because my grandfather told me that's what I was going to do, that's what I did. But it all worked out. It all worked out very well. So I published a magazine in Canton, and then in January of 1978, I put together a business plan. I took it to a bank. The bank didn't know me. My family had never done business with a bank. I met a friendly banker. I did a presentation to him. I had 5 pieces of paper with my business plan, and he gave me somewhere between 60 and 90 minutes of time. Called me up the next day and said, David, come in and pick up a check for $10,000. So I took that $10,000 and put another $10,000 into it myself and started the magazine. And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. It had an unhappy ending because I allowed my personal life to get intertwined with my business life, and I made a personal decision and not a business decision, and I really, really paid dearly for it. But you live and you learn. So I purchased the magazine for my mother, started a new magazine, and then from 1980 to 1991, there were those 11 years I had many different marketing sales projects that I did with folks in different markets. 1991 to 1991 is the only time in my life where I personally became affiliated with an organization, a business, and I was actually hired to be their director of insurance marketing sales, and it was a wonderful, wonderful period in my life. In a 5-year period, I had access to 19 of the 52 largest insurance companies, and with marketing and sales information I was sharing with them, with customer care information. I engineered some very, very large customer care programs in call centers. In a call center, that's the company that I was involved with. That's what they were. They were the number one service provider in the world in call centers. I would put together customer care environments for insurance companies in the various programs that they were doing. and I met a lot of wonderful folks, met a lot of great friends in those years. And so January 1st, 2000 to the present date, to today, I have done many marketing and sales projects. The last 16 plus years, I have been a digital publisher and digital producer. And I produced over 2,500 hours of YouTubes on the topics of entrepreneurship and small business. I had conversations with people, probably close to 35% of the live streaming that I did. I was having conversations with folks who were experts in what they did, and that's why I brought them and we had conversations. There aren't 2,500 hours now. There's probably, I don't know, so maybe there's 1,000 hours of 2 different channels. It doesn't matter how many there are. It's that we're continuing, and at least, well, every Saturday there will be a new YouTube created, and the Celebrate Business Project hopes to produce hundreds of live streams with a marketing and sales themes with folks in the various markets that I visit. That's how all of this ties together. So the channel is going to grow. I'm going to keep everything on one channel. I've got to figure out how to get rid of the one channel or meld it in, or I don't know what I'm going to do. So January 1st, we announced launching a Celebrate Business Project, and every Saturday is Small Business Saturday, just like today. And to that point, today sometime, depending upon the weather, some of you can't leave your homes, but if you have an opportunity to leave your home, go into the neighborhood where you reside and go into your favorite small business in that neighborhood and thank the small business owner for doing what they do and make a purchase. You'll be doing it somewhere. Do it in a neighborhood small business, thanking the owner of that business for being there. And then, as I said at the end of my email, that I have been an advocate for of the Small Business Administration for years. At any time that they want to distribute information personally and have a conversation with me, always available for that. To that end, I got 2. There they are. I got 2 press releases from the SBA this week that I've been getting these press releases probably for more than 10 years. And this one was released on Wednesday. SBA unveils updated equity action plan to advance the Biden-Harris administration's commitment to investing in equity. So out of Washington, they came out with this. I'm not going to go into a deep detail. Well, I will. I'll do some bullet points. 2023 Equity Action Plan improves access to loan capital. It improves access to federal government procurement and contracting. It improves access to business counseling, training, and services. It improves access to investment capital. That's exactly what the SBA does, those 5 things. So that came out, and the date before that, this press release came out from Washington. SBA trains their 200,000th Boots to Business Entrepreneurship Course graduate. And this particular press release discusses that. I'll go into more detail with that at a future time. But also, I attended an SBA sponsored webinar that they did, and it was done in a partnership with a cooperative agreement with some folks. I think the company was Rocket Lawyer. There was an attorney from Rocket Lawyer discussing what they do and how important it can be for a small business. So there's some kind of business relationship there with that one. But SBA, anytime, any market that you want to have a conversation, please contact me and we'll make it happen. I think that is going to be it for today. And thank you for spending almost 41 minutes of your time on this every Saturday, is Small Business Saturday. And we'll see you again soon. And maybe next Saturday will be the best one ever. We'll see you soon. You too, folks. Thank you. And you heard it. Anything in that in my live stream today that is of interest to you, contact me either through where you are actually seeing the video and posting a comment that will get to me, or you can certainly email me, dleopold at davidsbarter, DAVIDSBARTER.com. And we'll see you. Well, actually, we'll see you two before we'll see a Facebook Live audience. But enjoy your day. Have a lot of fun today. And we'll see you soon.